Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Celtic Rumours TV, episode number 181 of the Bawz and Bovril podcast. Myself, Mark, and we've got Big Jerry with us. How you doing, Jerry boy?
And yourself?
I'm good, mate. I'm all right. The night we've got Greg with us as well. Greg's actually sitting outside Celtic training ground doing a bit of on-the-spot reporting for us if there's any movement. Anything at all, like a fox, squirrels, you name it. We'll be there. We'll be there to report on it.
I'm actually
just some stuff. The links to our forum www.celticrumours.co.uk and everything, the Discord and the Twitter, everything that's on the description box below. A few shout outs for some of the lads on the forum. Paul and his wife here in Poland and visiting her dad, so hope a nice holiday, Paul. Terms, Jerry McGinn, JFP, Tim Alloy, Mikey, Big Jabber, Kev, no Malika as well. Who have we got in the chat? I seen that Bobby was beat in the day. Henky get in a forum. Bobby, eating dinner, you know the times, you've downloaded your phone. I texted you a couple of minutes before I put it up. I still want the tenner off you, mate. It's not my fault, you missed it.
Great, right?
Thanks to Henky, Bobby, Patrick McLaughlin, nice to see you, mate. Greg's here. Liam Doyle, nice to see you in again, bud. Thanks for joining us. Chris Curtis as well. Pulse Boy, evening, Brian, Mr. Positive. Dr. Strangelove, nice to see you, mate. Thanks very much for coming in. McMulner, nice to see you. Smell the Glove, Michael McKinstry, Stephen Colthart, Sean Boost, Tommy Twist 10. There's a few new names in there. Thanks very much for listening in, lads. Hail. Welcome aboard. Well, I'll say this. We'll start off talking about the US tour. Oh, I forgot Grotbag. She's sitting down with daggers here. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. We'll start off with the US tour. I mean, I don't put a lot of things into pre-season friendlies, but some of the football we played in that team, it was unbelievable. It really was.
Mark, I'm old enough to remember the pre-season friendly of 1989 when Celtic played Cruzeiro Belo Horizonte at Celtic Park, and I've seen so many friendlies pre-season. I have never in my life seen a performance like that last night. They were absolutely outstanding.
Aye, definitely. I mean, most of the time it's just played at a kind of bounce game kind of thing in that, but especially last night against Chelsea. Some of the people, a team. I know there was some of the big players missing, but that's still a decent Chelsea team they do it there. And for us to rip them apart the way we did was unbelievable. It really was.
Definitely, mate. I'm like you. I texted you and said after the first game I wasn't staying up to watch it because it was a pre-season game. Seen the highlights, then watched the Man City game, and then I watched last night. As you say, some of the football was brilliant last night. After a couple of minutes, I thought, oh, here we go, we could get it doing. With just some of the defend, but once we settled down, our attacking play was first class, and you could hear it clear as day. I know I said to you last night, Schmeichel, man, what an upgrade he has on Joe Hart. You could hear him last night organise the defence and shouting and all the rest of it. But it was a fantastic performance, some beautiful football played, and I know it's a pre-season and you don't want to read too much into it, but it's a good start.
It helps us, even though they're only friendlies, it helps the morale. It helps the fans' morale, and it helps the players' morale as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you're still winning games. And,
crest.
I think it's the style of the wins, Mark. It's not just that there've been wins. I mean, I didn't see much of the DC United game, but I watched the Man City game and I watched the game last night, and it's the intensity, it's the way we move the ball. 24 passes in one of the goals last night, and then you look at the Man City game where there was one goal where there was only 4 passes. So it's not like we're playing a consistent style. We're adapting to moments in the game, and I've been utterly astounded at how good the football is. And a special shout for Kuhn for his performance against Man City first half. Even where did that come from?
Aye, but it looks as if he's put on a bit of muscle on that again. You know what I mean? And you can see when you seen him the other night against Man City, even physically, you could tell when we signed him in January that he wasn't right. He came out about all this thing with his teeth and all that. So we kind of cut him a bit of slack. But now we've gone. I mean, he's had wee flashes yet in the 6 months he's been here. But the other night, he tore that Man City boy to shreds. Every time he get the ball, he tore that young boy to shreds. Yep. And you can see now what again, like Idah, it was a player. Kuhn's a player that Brendan Rodgers picked himself, and you can see now why Brendan Rodgers wanted him.
Yep.
If he can maintain that level of performance, then we have got a player for this season, because that was just I did not expect. I know he had potential, but his 2 goals and that pass for Kyogo's goal, I mean, that was like something that was just incredible.
He came out and said he got more enjoyment out the pass than he did scoring the 2 goals. Get well soon, Dr. Strangelove. I hope everything's all right for you, mate. Just seen you dressing up after surgery there. Just get that in.
But it is pre-season, but some of the football was brilliant, and it was good to see some of them getting a chance, and even Mikey Johnston scoring a good goal instead of Skynet or putting it out the park.
Listen, Jerry, that is the enigma that is Mikey Johnston, because I've spent pre-season pulling my hair out thinking, is Brendan Rodgers going to give him another chance? And I tell you my view, I absolutely think Rodgers is going to give Mikey Johnston another crack at the whip, and I don't know how you feel about that, but I think it's coming.
I'm happy to back him. I'll be honest, I'd have had him shipped out, and I've said it umpteen times. He's 25. He's been here for yonks. We keep hearing how great a player he is, and we've kind of yet to see it. It's all right doing it in training, but you need to do it in the pitch on a Saturday. But if Rodgers, we keep saying we want him to be in total control. So if he's backing him to do something, then fair dues, I'd go with him. But if it was up to me, and I'm clueless, I'd have him shipped out. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. What do you think, Mark?
The way things are going, we're going to end up like it was with Rodgers the last time, an abundance of wingers.
Yep. Aye.
I mean, especially for after this that Balakwasha, you pronounce it.
I'm glad you said
it. Mikel Ange Balakwasha.
Aye, that
Where is
boy.
He from, Mark? Is that boy from Anderlecht?
Antwerp.
Antwerp, sorry.
Aye.
But
Sure.
I think he's one of the ones. I think he can play. Well, most wingers now can play. Most wingers can play in either wing. Even we've seen James Forrest been out in the left a few times as well. Do you know what I mean? For the running in stuff and that. But
Jerry, you mentioned earlier about Joe Hart, and obviously the big man was an amazing servant, and Schmeichel's a wee bit older. But I tell you what, I noticed more than anything last night, Schmeichel's distribution with his feet. I've never really watched him that closely. But see, I mean, for me, I cannot, for a second, I can't give Joe Hart a hard time. But the way Schmeichel moved the ball quickly, astutely, his distribution from his feet was something I never really seen a lot from Joe Hart. So that was a big plus for me.
Hart I don't want to criticise him at all because I love the big guy, but he kind of dilly-dallied. He took a couple of wee split seconds longer to make his mind up what he was doing. Schmeichel's very organised and very knows what he's doing. And some of his passing was first class.
And he commands the area better than Hart.
When was the last time with a keeper that could do that?
I mean, at one point last night, did you know wee Greg Taylor flying trying to get the ball out the road?
Aye. Yeah.
Mark, I was just about to say that. You know, I've been a massive fan of Greg Taylor's last season, and I think he's almost getting better and better under Rodgers. He played well under Ange, and it's whether or not he gives him that chance to display in Europe again. But I think Greg Taylor last night was outstanding as well.
See, he's off. We need to get his contract sorted out. If he doesn't get a contract, I can see Greg Taylor being away this summer.
Why would you wait this long though?
I know. And what Greg Taylor said that there's not been any talks. Whereas Rodgers has told Nicholson and that to get it sorted out. He wants him on a new deal.
Oh, is Rodgers wanting him on a new deal?
Aye, Rodgers has come out and spoke about it. It's weird. And I've spoken about this with you, Jerry, just in text and shit like that. It's like, he's in the last year of his deal. If we're going to get an upgrade on Greg Taylor, is Greg Taylor going to be happy to be the number 2 at Celtic for a year and then walk away from nothing?
How many left backs has he seen off?
What I was going to say was, we only seem to be getting linked with a loan. With loans, left back loans. What's that all about?
I'm not a fan of that. The Wolves boy for a year. His third choice. No, as somebody else had said, we're back to square one next summer again. If we're going for a loan and Greg Taylor doesn't accept the deal, or we don't offer him a deal, we're back to square one, having no left back at all next summer. But I mean, you sent me the link or a thing for you online? Was it the boy for Shakhtar, Marco? Was a left back for Shakhtar for €5 million or something?
I can't mind now, Jabba. Jabba, I'm calling you Jabba now, I know, man.
No,
Jerry.
No, it was a Georgian. I think he played with Georgia. Georgian left back with Shakhtar with €5 million were saying that Celtic had knocked back.
You know, here's an issue here's something that I've been thinking a lot of, right? And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on it. People talk about Celtic's inability to make signings. I'm wondering how many members of staff in a senior position they've actually got working on players, because if it's just Michael Nicholson and one or two others, how do they manage actually bringing in a good number of players? Because that workload of what that must take. So I'm beginning to think, should we be questioning the amount of people Celtic have got in a professional capacity administering potential deals? Because I think that's what's part of the problem. I don't know.
No, but most clubs are the same, but Greg, you get the CEO and the money guy, that Chris Mackay, Nicholson and Mackay. It's up to them to get the deals on the line.
But that's what I mean.
It's not actually that. It's that, and then it goes to Big Dermot, and then he needs to pull the trigger or say no either way. But ultimately, it comes down to his final decision. Do you know what I mean, Dermot Desmond? But when it comes to the negotiating, but people think that these. I'm not trying to make out people are stupid, but a lot of people do get stupid during the transfer windows. But these deals, some transfer deals can take months to get sorted out. there's that much nonsense involved in them in this day and age and stuff like that. And it's not as if
What about the Adam Idah situation, Mark, Jerry? What do you think's happening there? Do you think? I noticed that one of my neighbour told me that Idah was left out the Norwich game through an injury on Friday. So what do you think's happening there?
Nothing. Nanty. How I don't understand how it's no ironed out before now. If we were seriously interested in him, how's it no sorted before now?
What do you think, Mark?
I think maybe Rodgers thinks he could get better for the money. But if the stories are true, there's some of the fees that Norwich are looking for him now.
What fees what would you realistically pay for him?
$7
Bearing
million.
in mind, it was how much was it? About $3 million in January that they were up quoting Lecce.
5. I'd 5. I mean, what was it they said? They said we bid 4 and it got turned down, didn't it?
Aye.
So I would go 5. But even with Rodgers coming out saying now that he wants a third choice striker to be a young boy, that kind of gives you. Well, Kyogo, don't get us wrong, he's looked a lot better in pre-season, but again, we're getting into Champions League. Champions League with Kyogo and Idah were kind of 2 strikers. I'd maybe prefer if they didn't sign Idah and signed like a top striker, do you know what I mean? But it's a weird, it's like the Greg Taylor situation, it's a really weird one.
What about Miovski? Do you think that could come back into the frame? No?
No. I don't. I mean, he's a decent enough player, but again, is he any better than Idah? Is he any better than what we've got?
Who?
Miovski.
I don't know.
He's no better than Kyogo, is he?
No, God, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say. I'd say Big Idah's a better player too. I've seen a lot more than Idah than I have in Miovski, but people going about, he scored goals in Europe. He scored a couple of goals in the qualifiers of the Europa. No, I don't even think it was the Europa League. I think it was the Conference League. It was as if he's banging in goals in the Champions League or the Europa League proper. Do you know what I mean? It was in the qualifiers. So, no, I think. And again, I take Idah him because we know he's just going to seamlessly slip into the team. Like, if you could come in and no settle, no foot, do you get what I mean? We know if Idah signs, we know exactly what we're getting, and there's no uproar to the team because the guy's been there last for 6 months for Eddie. He knows all the players, he knows how everything works, he knows what's expected of him as a Celtic player, and knows what's expected of him after Brendan Rodgers.
Well, I'd have went and put the money on the table for Bernardo and Idah straight away.
Maybe they did, Jerry.
Well, we knew.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on. But people must think that Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay work like 9 to 5, constantly talking to clubs and negotiating stuff, and that doesn't work like that. I mean, you could put an offer in for a player. It could be 4 or 5 days before the club get back to get to say no.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People think this is like, I think it's like Football Manager. It's a case of, you just pick up the phone, what you want for him, 8 million, we'll give you 6. Oh, right, no bother, right, get him signed and that's it.
What do you think of Rodgers' comments about his confidence and having his players in before the end of the window? Because he did sound quite confident.
Aye, if it doesn't happen, there'll be an uproar, Greg, for the fans.
This is all we hear. There's got to be uproar, Mark. It never happened.
No. See if they mess this up. If they mess up this window and Brendan Rodgers comes out and says he isn't happy, because it'll be obvious if he's happy or no, because he's come out there the weekend and said Greg's talking about he's quite confident about the players he wants will be brought in and stuff like that. So if they don't come in, we're going to know it right away, and that's, do you know what I mean? The fans are going to back Rodgers. There's got to be then become some kind of effort to get change on that board. Get a couple of younger people in with some fresh ideas and a bit of a modern outlook on things.
Right. But that time we're back to playing Champions League qualifiers and needing to sell this one and that one and all the rest of it.
Well, we're playing Champions League qualifiers next season anyway.
Aye.
don't know how long it'll take to. Greg must have cut off. I don't know how long it'll take for us to get that coefficient back up.
He's fun of sheep, isn't he?
What?
He's fun of sheep.
The security boys jumped on him.
Aye, I know transfers aren't as simple and straightforward as that, but you'd have thought Benu would have hopefully 3 or 4. I mean, the left back, the centre half position for me needs addressed massively. Kyogo is our only fit striker, and we know that we don't like to get through the season relying on his chocolate shoulders. So why is that
not being sorted again? I was thinking that the other night. Why is that not been sorted yet? Kyogo's shoulder.
Yep.
Because I mean that's it. He's our main striker now. If something happens to him in training during the week next Sunday, who was playing up front, unless Idah comes in, that's like during the week. Which I think Idah will be in this week. I really do. I think he'll be at Celtic before Sunday's game kicks off.
Aye,
Bernardo as well. I think the Bernardo deal's finalised in that, but you can't really announce anything at the weekend because you can't get the international clearance. You can't announce international transfers out of the weekend because they're not finalised. Because they don't work officers, they don't work officers in that, so you can't register a player on a Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
So I'll probably if the Bernardo deal's all done and dusted, well, hopefully it's just paperwork gets fired in and first thing on Monday morning, and that's him.
Aye. Aye, be a fantastic lift for the squad to come back, and they two are waiting on them. I say maybe Law was no way to fork out for it to go to America. You never know.
I was surprised Trump let Kyogo in that in.
Aye. Your wee tour stealing stuff. He's a bum pot anyway.
Him and his growing back here.
Aye. Oh, what's the conspiracy theories on that? Have we got any yet? Is that for the other page?
That's for the other page, aye. Is that even in San Francisco, nice to see. Is that what they're saying, a 4-month layoff for Kyogo's shoulder surgery?
No idea.
Seems a bit steep, doesn't it?
Aye, no, it's. I don't think it would. I don't know. I've no idea. I mean, you can get that keyhole surgery, but it's just the recovery time. So if it's 4 months, then maybe that's. But it's not going to get any better. I don't think. I think it's just somebody's going to need to manage.
Aye. I see one of the Japanese teams is linked with making a move for him in this summer again, but Rodgers came out and said he's not interested in selling him.
Nah, we need him.
He does in these pre-season games. I mean, I gave him a bit of stick last season in that, but he's looked as if he understands a lot, Mary, what Rodgers what Rodgers wants today, what Rodgers wants him to do on the park. He get caught off. He was caught offside a lot, but that just coming with but that will just come with even as the time goes on. Do you know what I mean? He'll just get into his seat to take that one wee further step.
Yep.
But his actual movement and that is getting back to like we saw under Ange. It really is. I thought Kyogo's really shown in pre-season that he's getting back to his best.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for somebody to mention his name.
Who?
The jumper.
The jumper?
Aye, Ange. What were texting last night? Do we look better now than we did under Ange? I think, it's a pre-season game. I think filing out of the league starts and Europe starts, we'll see how we're fixed.
Aye.
But it's positive. Everything's positive so far. So long may it continue, and we go and get a result this time next week. So
just we're talking about signings and that. Who in the chat, right? Who would you rather be signed? That is it Derek? You pronounce it Derek O'Shea, John O'Shea's boy. That Jake Clark Salter. The QPR. Because from what I'm hearing, that maybe be the two choices.
Aye.
Aye.
So there was another boy we were linked with. I'm sure it was quoted as Rodgers had spoke to him a couple of times. centre half. It was neither of the two of them. I'm trying to remember. Somebody else had put his name in the Discord group chat. Burnley centre half, is it?
That's him. That's what I'm talking about. John O'Shea's boy, Dara.
No, that wasn't him. Must have been. It could have been at Burnley. It'll come back to me. I'd be lying if I say I know anything about them, Marco. What about yourself?
Well, I'm kind of the same. I've seen them. I know who they are and stuff like that, but I've seen them like highlights and stuff. And when they get linked with Celtic, you go and look them up. But that says me, a lot of people in here know a lot more about players than I do that aren't at Celtic. Do you know what I mean? This is probably Mikey's territory we're in, isn't it? Most of the people are saying, well, Bobby's saying Clark Salter, Pulse Boys saying Clark Salter.
Aye, we're needing a left centre half anyway. And a left back. I mean, I don't know. As you say, we're going to end up with umpteen wingers. If it's true, we're looking at another winger. But I'm hoping for movement this week.
I mean, do you think... I don't know how to put this. What I try and think of the words to put this in. Do you think Liam Scales is going to start as our main centre back, even if he do bring in a new boy?
No. Nope.
Do you think as soon as we bring in a new boy, that Scales on the bench?
I don't think straight away, but I think he'll be phased out, aye. I think he'll be phased out. Teams know how to play against him. I know it's weird saying that after three wins, but see when he gets the ball, man, I don't know. He's not got a clue. Teams rush him, and they kind of wait till he gets the ball, then they go. He's done. He's like Greg Taylor. For me, he's like Greg Taylor. He'll give you his all, and he'll be fine for the league. But if we want to improve, then that's the two places I would start. What about yourself?
Sure, Bob? I'm just looking it up. Are you sure that isn't John O'Shea's boy? That's what somebody told me when I asked him about him. He told me that's who it was. So if that's wrong, sorry, Bobby. I thought that's who it was. He was a cracking player. I wouldn't have minded him back in the day, John O'Shea.
He's done well for himself.
He wasn't a great player down in Big Man United team. He held his own, but see if Celtic could get him or that, he'd have just stole the kind of the Scottish League.
Aye.
I did millions spent in Lager, Belky and Rocky. I mean, there's not even any talk of them moving on.
No.
It's weird, but we're not getting... I mean, where's all the talk about all these multi-million pound bids for Hatate that we're due in and stuff like that? The only actual player, but I mean, we've got rid of some of the surplus, like Kaksabanovic and stuff like that. But the only one of our main players that seems to be attracting any interest, even in the media and that, is Matt O'Reilly.
Yep. That'll do me. Fine. Do you think he's away?
I'm still not. That's what I was just going to say. I'm still not 100% convinced that Matt O'Reilly will leave. Just the way it's going on, the low ball bids, as I say, that Celtic can. If somebody comes in and bids 16 million more, Celtic can leave that sitting to Thursday before they answer it.
Yep. And
just drag it out. And reading between the lines with Brendan Rodgers, he's basically said there's a price there. Every player's got a price. There's a price there. If nobody willing to pay that, we're more than happy to keep Matt, and Matt's more than happy to stay here. Yep. He's not pushing for a move or anything like that. And again, I put it on the forum yesterday, Sunday, I said to them, what would you rather do? You're here, you know how big Celtic is. You've got all your pals, big part of the club, the manager loves you, the fans love you. We've got this new European Champions League format and everything. Another year to win some trophies or get down and fight relegation with Southampton. But I mean, it's a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? He'll only be like 24 next summer.
Aye. Yep.
So unless one of the big teams come in, a bit like one of the big teams, a team in the Champions League, even if that's Atlanta who are in it, unless they come in and match the price, I don't see Matt O'Reilly leaving Celtic because I don't see the way you can tell he's no stupid. Do you get what I mean? The way you get yourself went for Fulham, took 6 months training with MK Dons, then signed with him, and a year later ends up at Celtic. He thinks about what he's doing. He's not the type of player that's going to jump because they're for me 50, 60 grand a week. I'm off. He'll be like, what am I going to do there? How's that going to improve me?
Yep. I think he's for what we've heard, he's a great professional. So, and he's obviously level-headed, and he's a cracking player. But I don't think. I don't understand how, if we're led to believe the 2 or 3 bids from Atalanta for 14 million and then 15, whatever it is, then add-ons, what they're coming back, what they're hoping to achieve with the low ball offers, try to unsettle them. Celtic have obviously
it's less than we knocked back in January.
Exactly. Whether they think they can maybe unsettle him and maybe push for a move, I don't know. But you would think Celtic turn around and say, look, he's no for sale unless you give us this X amount or whatever, or we're not prepared to start talking to whatever amount.
I mean, it's not even like the Greg Taylor situation getting into last year's contract. He's still got 3 years in his contract.
Aye, no, that's what I say. We're a strong position. So we don't need to be worried. We're not in a position where we need to sell him or needing the money. He's not pushing for a move. We've got still plenty of time left in his contract, even if we're waiting to next summer. So no, it's a good position to be in, thankfully.
It's just the low bids will just sit and back to them all day for the rest of the month. Do you know what I mean? That'll do us.
Yep, that's it. That was where Dr. Strangelove, he'd put something to say he wasn't judging the squad until the transfer window is closed. I obviously think we need around 5 players, but if there's a similar strategic approach to how we address the goalkeeping duties, I'll be pleased. That's exactly my take on it as well.
I've seen a bit of forward planning with the goalkeeper thing.
Aye. You think yourself getting a goalkeeper at 37, there's no forward planning there, but obviously they've brought in that young boy. But Schmeichel, left his performance in the Man City and then last night, you've got to think it's a massive upgrade on what we had. And we just need to get the other positions sorted with a wee bit of quality, and it could be in for a right good season. Do you think we'll sacrifice the cups for the other keeper? Do you think he'll get
Aye, I think so. I mean, I'm actually surprised that we signed him. I've never seen the boy playing again, but see, in the English forums and that, his name kept popping up as if he was like a young keeper that the English teams thought they should be taking a punt on, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? They're saying, get him in now. David, we done get him in now to learn off of X, Y, Z, and whoever, and that's I did, and I had heard him through the English forums and stuff like that. So I was a bit surprised that we got him. Just again, it's just the fans were talking, but it wasn't just one team chasing him or anything like that. Just across the forums, he just seemed to be well known and well thought of. So I was a bit surprised that we did manage to get him. But I'm happy, I'm more than happy with it.
Definitely.
How does Anthony Joseph know the bids, Henky?
What's that?
They're asking how, when they're talking about all these bids and all that, how do we know their view and stuff like that? But Henky's put up Anthony Joseph, is that Tim? He's tweeted the bids. How does he find that out?
Aye.
You know what I mean? And how can you prove him wrong? That's not just Tim, Henky, just all these people on Twitter. How can you? I could go on Twitter. They're big jabber there. All right, jabber bud. I could go on Twitter and put in, I heard such and such and such and such and so bid 22 million for Matt O'Reilly and we turned it down. Who's to prove me wrong that I didn't? Somebody didn't tell me that, or I didn't make it up. Do you get what I mean? All the in the know things in that on Twitter, I don't pay much attention to them. That's comments and linking it to him. That's that, Henky. How does anybody know anything?
Yep. Aye, well, the goalkeeper was kind of last minute. The leaks have kind of dried up and stopped. We don't hear as much. I mean, we've been linked with umpteen different goalkeepers and players and all the rest of it, but none of them have really been spot on. It was lastminute.com.
I don't think anyone at Celtic's confirmed or denied anything. They never do, Brian, do they?
No.
You've got to give Rodgers a kind of due with that. He knows exactly how, we spoke about it before, he knows exactly how to play the press up here. Because I mean, it's amateur up here compared to like down in England, you know what I mean?
Hey, see if the...
Hail, Joseph, nice to see you, mate.
If the shite that was happening with us, that was happening across the road, it'd be front, back page news, it'd be all other camp.
Every single day, day after day.
Aye, mate. But there's it's nothing to see. Nothing's happening. And then they've signed a world beater for whatever it is, Wolfsburg, the German side.
Aye.
No,
that other boy they've signed, he's not even fit enough to train.
Who's that?
That's what a striker for some. It was a team in Africa, I think, RAF, something. It was something to do with the army, RAF. They signed this striker. It's him that story was going about. It was the motorbike crash.
Oh, right, aye.
But it wasn't a motorbike crash, it was just that. 420, nice to see you, mate. Thanks very much for coming in, bud. But it's meant to be that he's not nowhere near fit enough to even like train with him. Injured, keeps picking up knocks and out injured and that.
Brilliant. That's what I love to hear. Fantastic.
2.6 million quid on him, too.
Aye, so they did. I've need to give their scouts around the applause there, finding him.
I mean, that's it. All these big clubs that have got worldwide scouting systems.
He's always dreamed of playing for the most successful team in Govan.
Aye, but that's that. All these big worlds scout the world for players for the big mega clubs in that. But Rangers can go and pick out somebody that's, he'll end up playing for Real Madrid and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Just sign the guy and let the people decide and see they coming out and that's bumming it up. Look at Todd Cantwell.
That's brilliant.
Aye, that guy's away. He's turned out to be a bigger redneck than Joey Barton.
He's got to leave with more he wanted to leave with more medals than Callum McGregor. He'll need to ask to get out Callum's back pocket if he's want to leave and go anywhere.
I see even Chris Boyd having a pop at him. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit, you know, you're doing something wrong at Ibrox if he's taking a pop at you because he's just a bootlicker, isn't he?
Aye, oh, that's it, man. He can't beat a bit of bear on bear.
But it's just the way they all flip and flop to suit whatever the narrative is. The way they were all knowing about how Clement Rodgers beat and that this was Rangers here and this and that. And at the end of the season, Clement done what everybody else at Ibrox had done, bowed down to the king.
Mate, see before this season starts, the same half-wits will come out and back the Monkeys to win this league again, no matter what. They're just dumplings, man. I wouldn't listen to a word they say.
I've not seen many. Do you know what I mean? You know, I like a wee laugh at them on Twitter when the people put up the stuff we follow and that. I don't see many of them actually saying, well, we could do something.
Aye.
I think there's a realisation hitting Ibrox that it's never going to get back to the David Murray times and that. Do you know what I mean? There's never going to be times like that again.
Fantastic. It's just terrible, isn't it?
But the thing about it is, I mean, let's face it, they're again, even after going into getting liquidated, starting up again, for the last 12 years, they've been a bigger basket case than Celtic ever really were.
Aye.
I mean, these football clubs were running a bit shoddy back in the days, you know what I mean, when it was all boring to get away with it. But as they get modernised, they had to move with the times and they didn't. That's how they get ousted.
Mm-hmm.
But Reid Fergus McCanty step in. And they've not got anybody because they've stepped in by now. Do you know what I mean? They're looking for a sugar daddy. I caught a glimpse of one of their pods on Twitter, somebody put up. And the guy's been on, he's sitting in it and he's saying, oh, we need a sugar daddy. They've got Dermot Desmond bankrolling them. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. They think that all our money all comes from Dermot Desmond, and see while they think that they're never going to get better. It's no your club. It's a club the money makes we spend. Their club's not making any money, so they've no got to spend.
The big house must stay open.
Aye.
Who cares, man? Let them get on with it.
Must stay up.
Aye. Okay, not much chance of that, man. It's crumbling. I couldn't care less what they do. If we never had to play against them again, I'd be over the moon. But
it's so funny, but it's just that laughable. They just go from one crisis to another.
Aye. There's Kenny Arthur asking who's responsible for the signings, the manager or the board?
Well, the manager's picking the signings during this window, definitely. But then as I said earlier on, it's up to Michael Nicholson and Chris Mackay to get the deal sorted out and the contract sorted out, and then Dermot Desmond will rubber stamp it.
Yep.
The board doesn't take much to do with transfers as a whole. The board doesn't take much to do with transfers as a whole. I mean, Celtic only 6 board meetings a year. That's the only time the Celtic board have a board meeting 6 times a year. I don't think they're spending their time saying, "Oh, who did you sign? If that be a manager, we'll see if we can get him," and stuff like that. No, I don't. People go on blame the board, but it's not the board that rubber stamp these things. It's Dermot Desmond. And again, he could be dragging his heels. See the Idah thing, you know, Dermot Desmond, because don't need to hurry. The boys have got him tied up. Just leave it a couple of weeks and my interest will pay for him. You know what I mean? Interest half his shares.
Aye. No, they want them in sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later. But well, it'd be interesting to see that. I'd like Idah in this squad for Saturday, for Sunday.
Aye, definitely.
And as I say, I think Idah and Kuhn's injuries were just wee knocks, just precautionary. Be taking them off the games and no starting. Nobody in the squad last night, but that was near enough the team would be starting this weekend.
But I'm just going to say to you, what's your team for Sunday?
I think it'd be more or less it'd be more or less last night team, but you've got Kuhn coming in for Forest. And
would you be happy? I mean, this guy that we were talking about, I've lost his name now. Bakishwawa, was it? Yep. I'm looking playing the right wing. He can play in either wing. He's predominantly a right winger. But even if you don't get him, would you be happy getting into the season with the Kuhn that we saw the other night and Jamesy Forrest just being the kind of backup?
This has been Kuhn's problem, though. They know that there's a player there, but he's not consistent. And I know that the last couple of games he's done really well and he's shown flashes. But can he keep it going? It's a long season. The way things stand, we're going to be playing in Europe till after Christmas anyway. So that's a lot of games. And I don't know if he's going to be consistent enough to be the main man week in, week out. So I don't know. Forrest's getting on a bit as well, although he's not done any harm in pre-season, and by God we were thankful for him the tail end of last season. I'd still like somebody else brought in. However, we've still got to ship out the likes of Yang and see what's happening to Mikey Johnston.
Aye. I know it's covered earlier on, but I don't see Mikey Johnston being here once the window's shut. I really don't. I mean, he's been away down there to West Brom. He done well. He was playing every week. Players get a taste for that. You know what I mean? Coming back to Celtic to be a bit part player, and then when he is on, the fans are going to be on his back again and that. For me, he'll be wanting to play every week. I'll get games every week, playing every week. You can't go for that to being a bit part player without saying I maybe need to look at my future come the next Monday, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You maybe say, I'll be alright, I'll be able to do that, but no sitting there on the bench after being a main part of the team.
What about you? What's your team for Sunday?
Aye, will probably be the same. Aye, I don't think there will be. I think Kuhn will start. Aye, but apart from that, I don't even know. Is Alistair Johnson back in training?
No sure, mate.
Okay, I
Somebody
know
said,
he was at the Copa
August, was
America,
it no?
but
He wasn't back. He wasn't going to be available to August.
Was it? Aye.
We're near enough at the end of it now, we know.
Well, the end of July.
Aye, so we've not got that long to go. But there's Sean saying the exact same thing. He knew his targets, why they no win. We're all saying the same thing, mate. And I think I'm just going to reply to David Stalker. I think we'd need 4 quality. At least 4 quality signings to be brought in.
Well, they're going to bring in at least 2 strikers.
You reckon?
Well, according to Brendan Rodgers, he wants 3 strikers.
As long as he's not going to class Idah as one of them. If he doesn't get...
No, well, the third, it was going to be Rocco Vata was going to be the third striker.
Aye. Yep.
I mean,
that's
which is what I've said all along, isn't it? That third striker role, you either go and get somebody like Ian Wright or somebody like that, an older guy that was quite happy just to get the odd kind of cameo playing at a big club, and you put one of your youngsters in that role. Because they're not going to get that much game time.
Well, speaking of youngsters, do you see that Ben Doak? It looks like Liverpool maybe going to pump him. I don't know if it's sell him or put him out on loan to Southampton and Leicester are looking. But I think I don't know if this new boy doesn't fancy him or what. Or he's not hit the heights he thought. There's a lot of them have all went and thought the grass is greener.
Would you be confident, more confident getting into the Champions League with Ben Doak than you would be with Greg Taylor?
Well, Ben Doak's a winger, you know.
No, he's a fullback.
I thought he was a left mid.
No.
No. Taylor's been in kind of done it, hasn't he?
Well, even that is the experience. But again, you're getting back to we're talking about a different guy here, aren't we? Owen Beck, we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Ben Doak.
Ben Doak's a player we lost to Liverpool.
Aye. And that's what I'm saying. It looks as if...
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about the left back. It was at Dundee and we just picked up. No. We just get... Sorry about that. I'm Pete's pickle, man.
It's... you need to put the biscuits down. It's the Ben Doak, the boy we lost to Liverpool.
Aye. Was he getting pumped out on loan? Aye.
They're pumped out on loan or pumped full stop. I think Southampton and Leicester are in for him. I don't know if that new manager's maybe said that he's not going to be part of the plans or what.
Aye.
So, but the Owen Beck one, he was at Dundee, but I don't know what's happened to him pre-season or where he is now, or what's happening with him. But no, I wouldn't be taking him for my first choice left back right now. No, if Taylor was to go, I wouldn't mind him coming in, but I would still be wanting somebody ahead of him.
Aye.
But then again, it's maybe going to hinder that boy's development.
See, I think the full left back thing is it's just pure weird thing. We've struggled in that, but I mean, I'm a great Greg Taylor fan, we know that, but we've struggled to somebody says how many left backs has he seen off? You know what I mean? Yep. So we've struggled to get him his due because he's a worker. Even on the patch you can tell he doesn't stop the full game. It looks like a moaning wee sod. Do you know what I mean? He's got a greeting face we get, which I quite like in a player. Do you know what I mean? He'll moan it when things aren't going the right way and stuff like that. He's the first tune when they're in a bit of bother. He's the first tune in pushing the other ones away and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I really do like Greg Taylor, but we know his limitations. But see if you bring in better than Greg Taylor, I'll be gutted for him because you got to lose his place in the team. But at the same extent, I want the team to improve. Do you know what I mean by that, Jerry?
Aye, of course, 100%. But there's no sentiment in football. If we're wanting to improve, then there's I mean, don't get me wrong, Cal. I've said it on here umpteen times. I'm a huge Cal McGregor fan, but if we got somebody that was better than him, he came in and play that centre mid role or CDM role, and it cost him his place. So be it. Again, Hart was brilliant for us, but again, if we had Schmeichel, that Schmeichel for last night playing last season ahead of Hart, then so be it. But if we want to progress, then we just because we like a player and he gives his all, it doesn't mean that he's got to be playing. We're looking to be the best we possibly can. So, no, it doesn't matter who they are. If we can get better than them, then thanks and goodbye.
That's what we should always be looking at. It's like we need somebody to play alongside Carter Vickers. I keep saying it. We need a player better than Carter Vickers to play alongside him.
Well, that's the thing. We're getting into another long, hard season again, and we know that he's going to be his usual spell out. So we definitely need a centre half anyway. And Narovsky and Lagerbielka, they're as well hunting the both of them because they're not going to feature in that team. Welsh is ahead of them in the pecking order.
Welsh is poor, isn't he?
Aye. He is poor, but let's say he's a Celtic man and Guinea's all doesn't really mean much to me. He is poor. Very limited.
There's a team in for Welsh. I think it's in the news today. I can't remember who it was again, but he just constantly seems to be linked with teams Welsh.
I mean, there must be scouts in that must rate him. They must see what the fans don't of that because, I mean, it's been teams Italy and that he's been linked with in the past.
I know.
Obviously, we can see
maybe
that the Italians have been. Well, maybe that is that.
Aye.
What, Terry?
For me, it might suit the style of play might suit him better over in Italy than it does here. For me, I don't know. It gets caught out for me too often, and I mean, one of the last games he played and the ball was bouncing out of the camp. You think, holy suffering. And then he gave away.
Terry, I remember watching Welsh a fair bit when he was on show last season. I didn't think he actually done a lot wrong. I think what Rodgers is concerned about was he just doesn't seem to be the footballer in terms of the way he can play the ball the way Rodgers really wants him to. But I'm not saying he's been faultless by any means, but I think he's done well on his showings.
Yeah.
He's good in the air and as well. He's good when he's not got time to think about it. Do you know what I mean? See if he's just blocking crosses, got winning, he does and stuff like that. He's good at that. But see what you're saying here, Greg, he's actually like football side playing it for the back and all that. He's not got that his game at all.
Uh-huh.
But Welsh is the type of player that if he played for Celtic, he should be against like the teams that just pump big high balls into the box all day because that covers for Carter Vickers, no lack of height.
Yep. They're.
But I was right. I did say he was a future Celtic captain.
Aye, a minute that happened. Aye, very good.
Aye, and he get the armband, didn't he? I felt he's that.
What about Joseph came up with a good. I forgot about it last night. About Vickers getting knocked about and Casper stopping a certain goal.
Carter Vickers did, but don't get us wrong. Some of them were big lads, weren't they? Some of the Chelsea players.
That's what I say. See when they were coming out, small boy had said to me, "Man, we're like a team of midgets compared to them." they were all massive. But then again, when we managed to get the ball down and get through like a knife to hot butter, so fair play. But we're always waiting for the ball coming into the box and losing something. But it's good that you've got a keeper that can command these 6-yard box and organise his defence. That'll make some difference.
Aye, definitely. Especially again, going back to Greg Taylor, how he was getting the blame for all these back post crosses and all that last season. They'll not get near Greg Taylor. Casper will be coming out and claiming them for new ones. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just see that side. He's the kind of coming for the ball, arrange. It seems to be a lot more vocal and arranging the defence and stuff like that.
Yep.
mean, not putting Joe Hart down, but it really does look as if, well, maybe not get an upgrade on him, say, put him down that way, but maybe we've just got somebody more suited to Brendan Rodgers while you're playing.
Aye.
With passing the ball and that.
Aye.
He'll have a couple of assists for Kyogo or Idah this year.
Schmeichel.
Big long punch up the park and he'll go in the end of them.
I'm hoping we're 4 or 5 nothing up, but Hampden, he's maybe up to take a free kick or a penalty. Maybe even come up for a corner.
Just trying to like Pelly out and escape to victory.
Aye.
Just give him the ball, just go like this and this.
He's all boys scored, didn't he? For Man U.
Aye.
Plenty of time. But I think you had said, Mark, before that with Schmeichel, even though his age, he'd still be looking to try and make that World Cup squad for Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
So,
definitely.
Aye, 2026.
I mean, what is he now? 39. He'll be
37.
34. It's 37.
Aye.
He'll be 39. Aye, he'll be 39 when the next World Cup comes along.
Aye.
I don't see how no.
Yep. Aye.
He's a captain and everything. If he was going to chuck international football, he would have done it probably after the Euros, wouldn't he?
Do you think he's going to strengthen O'Reilly's case if they've got the Danish captain playing for us?
Yeah, did you see O'Reilly's celebration last night? Did you see that?
Aye, the wee old cricket man walk.
Aye. You know what that was about?
I wasn't sure. I thought he'd just been seen it in FIFA and done it.
No, it was a dig at the Danish. It was a dig at the Danish manager for picking older players.
Oh, was it?
Oof.
Aye. And you know who the new Danish manager is?
Who?
Morten Vikoff.
Is that who's managing Denmark now? Aye.
Aye, he's the new manager of Denmark.
Oh, new manager. It wasn't him. It wasn't him at the Euros, was it?
No, he was the assistant.
No.
So he's the main man now.
Vikoff is the main man, Big Morten.
Oh,
Big
well
Greenock.
then.
That's what I used to call him. Big Greenock.
Who did Celtic sign Vikoff from, Mark? Jerry?
Dundee.
Ah, well done. Well done.
No bother. He was a great player. I liked him.
He was a
He had
solid
an
enough
illness.
player.
Do you remember he had an illness?
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
That's it. That's what it was. Aye.
It's what?
He had an
Guillain-Barré
illness for
syndrome.
part of his. He was very ill for part of his time at Celtic, Mark.
I can't mind that, honestly.
He was out for, was it not a year or something?
Who were Celtic looking to sign before they signed Vikoff? Do you remember? From Dundee, they didn't get him, and they got Vikoff instead.
Was that a midfielder?
He played midfield at the time. It was more of a back, and his initials were DA.
Darius Adamchuk.
Oh, well done, Jerry. Well done.
Fountain of knowledge, man.
You'd have thought I'd have primed you with those questions.
No, I just remember that kind of period. I liked Big Morten Vikoff.
That's good. That's good knowledge, Darius Adamchuk.
Aye. He ended up
Patrick
at Huns.
McLaughlin, don't you mention that name in here.
I know.
Neil McCann.
I know.
Neil McCann.
Tadger.
That's Premier knowledge, Jerry. I'm impressed. That's good.
I'll
You
give you
set
that fiver
this
later.
this up. You just see like Bobby getting in there being first, right?
No, I swear to God, it was. I was going to actually say Ravanelli. That's what position.
That's right. No, Adamchuk was just before Ravanelli. It was just before your man. Remember that guy, that lawyer that took over Dundee, and he started paying Ravanelli and Caniggia all those wages.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Saddam
Was it
Hussein's
Gaddafi's?
lawyer.
It was
Saddam
Gaddafi's.
Hussein's lawyer.
Aye.
Oh.
Hey, that was a good wee spell for Dundee with players anyway and some of the signings. He thought he was coming out to win the league.
They had that boy up front, Juan Sara, and they had the Argentinian boy. Who was the Argentinian that was a cracking player?
Caniggia.
Not Caniggia.
Benito. No, it was the Benito. It was Benito something. No, do you remember that
Aye.
one Sarah's T-shirt he scored against the Huns and it was Jesus Loves You? The monkeys
That's
were all
right.
going tonto, man. Pulled up his
Right.
cap, Jesus Loves You. They were going bananas.
I know. That was the glory period for Dundee.
Aye.
They also had Gavin Ray. What was that boy's name? What was that Argentinian's boy's name? He had a bit
Caballero.
of Caballero. That's right.
Well done, Bobby.
Well done, Bobby. Well
Aye.
done. What was his first name? Benito Caballero. What was his name?
Aye. Yep.
They were a right good team then. It was Jim Duffy was the manager, wasn't he?
No.
Aye, Jim Duffy was the
Jim?
manager.
Aye, but no.
You sure under that?
No one had all them. It was
Aye,
they two brothers, no,
Jim
wasn't
Duffy.
it?
Aye, it was. No, it was the Italian boy. It was the Italian boy.
I just said that.
That's
The
right.
two brothers.
And he had a brother. Were they not twins, those boys?
Benetti or something. I can't even remember what they were called.
Benetti.
Benetti. Aye, Benetti.
Benetti.
That was it. But I don't know.
Brothers.
Ivano Benetti.
Ivano Benetti. And he had a brother. He had a twin brother as well. I think that was his assistant manager.
Aye, they were a good time, but it nearly cost them, didn't it?
Aye.
Oh, it did cost them.
But did Burley go there as well? Aye.
Craig Burley went. Rabanelli. You had Juan Sara and Caballero, Gavin Ray.
Ravanelli. Caniggia.
Oh my God, that's incredible, isn't it? Claudio Caniggia and Dundee. I mean, who'd have thought that?
Hey,
Then
talking about Burley, man, I loved him at Celtic.
I like Craig Burley, I know. I was a Burley
I
fan.
love Craig Burley at Celtic, but
what's Burley doing now, do you know?
He's on the American telly, like a pundit for the football in America.
He's a pundit on ESPN.
I think Bobby saying, where's Mikey when you need him? Mikey would be all over this. You know what I mean? Because he talks to me about all the times at Dundee.
I remember Davy Probin referred to Craig Burley as the best box-to-box midfielder in Britain. You know, of his time, which was quite high praise.
Well, that season of Burley and Lambert was brilliant. The two of them were fantastic together.
Aye. And there's another boy.
Why did Burley leave? What happened? Did he ever fall out?
I think what happened at that period, Jerry, I think Jock Brown was the Michael Nicholson of his day. Jock Brown, Craig Brown's brother. And I think Jock Brown, as a player, you either loved him or hated him. And I think he just had a really difficult relationship with some of the players. Although Fergus McCann really liked Jock Brown, apparently, because he was a bit of a no-nonsense CEO. But I think Craig Burley...
Jock Brown was like Fergus's attack dog, wasn't he?
Who?
Jock Brown, he was like Fergus's attack dog.
Oh, aye. Absolutely. But Fergus really liked him. Fergus really, really liked Jock Brown, and I think he liked him because it was kind of straight, you know, his lack of diplomacy. He was just... You know, if it was the Jock Brown's way via Fergus, you were at the door. And I think that happened to Burley. I think they just fell out.
Same way he traded players.
What?
Remember the famous one with Reggie Blinker and Di Canio? Wasn't he sold? He was traded.
Aye. It was a swap, wasn't it? He tried to make it as if it was a swap.
Aye. We ended up with Reggie Blinker and they get Di Canio.
That was such an interesting period just before that whole success of O'Neill when you had John Barnes and he brought in Ian Wright and Ayo Berkovic and all these. There was some right strange signings under that period. Ian Wright.
Well, Mark still get his Celtic tap signed by Ian Wright. You were a fan of him, weren't you?
Aye, so I was.
England tap signed
still can't go.
Aye, I'm not a fan
he's
of
he's the English Charlie McCoist. Just an idiot just sits here playing the fool.
Ian Wright was just nothing more than a mercenary at that period in his career. He had no interest in Celtic. He was just getting a right few quid. Although he scored a few goals, to be fair to him, he done all right.
I didn't like him at all. I was gutted we signed him. I hate him. I've always hated him.
Aye, I hate him. I didn't like Arsenal. I don't like Arsenal, never have. Do you know what I mean? Because he was like Arsenal talisman. I detest him, and then we signed him.
Aye.
You should make that wee feature of the show, Mark, just testing people's knowledge and just have it in the hope that folk who are listening aren't Googling stuff. But it's always good
Greg,
to
there's a boy on the forum, Buzzbomb, and the guy, see stats and stuff like that. He's unbelievable at compiling it all. I've got a pile of paper with questions just about Celtic that he done a while back, and
I love that. I would love that, because I'm like you.
I just need to try and find a way. I got, like as you say, using them to get something like a wee quiz going and trusting people.
That'd be brilliant.
You know what I mean? That trusting people that are not going to cheat and Google it and stuff like that. It's just a laugh kind of thing.
Big Jerry, to be fair, he's got good knowledge. You know, there's sometimes I'll give him some right historic questions, and he'll come in with a, you know, say don't Google, and the big man's knowledge is good. So he's a bit younger as well. So fair play to him.
Aye, I'll dig it out and we'll try and get something sorted out for that.
Aye, definitely.
A wee quiz night now and again.
Anyway, I don't know. In the time that I was off, lads, I don't know if he's. I was going to ask, how many players do you think we'll have in before next Sunday? Have you asked that? Have you spoke about that?
How many players sign?
Aye, how many do you think we'll have in the door before the Kilmarnock game?
I'm going to push the boat out, put my neck in the line. I'll say 3.
3?
Aye.
Well, you're going to say straight off the bat and hope it's Idah and Bernardo.
Aye, see, obviously.
Here's what I think, Mark, Jerry, right? I think they've got them in the bag, and I think they're waiting strategically until they come back from America to do the whole press release, because they don't want to let that information out until they're back at Lennoxtown. Everyone's at Celtic Park, build up the whole, you know, the anticipation of the season. So I think they'll have Idah, I think they'll have Bernardo, and I think they'll have another 2 ready to go. So I would go with you, Mark, 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have 4.
Just you're maybe holding them off. They're like a PR vet. The PRs, I think, could be good PR that'll bring. Aye.
Why would you release information, or why would you do a press release when the team's going through its US tour, when you're wanting to sell Celtic TV packages for the games in the States? That would be a distraction. You know, announcing players would be a distraction from the US tour. So I think what they'll do is they get them home, they get everyone back to Lennoxtown. Tuesday there'll be a couple of rumblings about who's coming, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday you'll have big announcements about who's signed just before to build it up for the flag.
Greg, wake up! You're sleeping. No chance, man.
I'm telling you,
must be up there.
That's definitely
psychedelics, aren't you?
That's definitely worth. That's definitely plausible, my opinion.
I'm telling you, Mark. I know how the media work and how Celtic. I've got a wee bit of experience in media and stuff, and I know that's what they'll be doing. There's no danger they're going to release announcing signings when the team's in America. No chance.
I'm going with Maist. Bernardo and Idah at the Maist. And then we can come back on here next Sunday and I'll say, what a pair of wallopers you are if you thought we were going to have 3 or 4 signings in the door. No chance.
It's only one more than the one doing it. You're saying you're full.
That's a lot. One mare's a lot. Because Bernardo's a stuck-on, isn't he?
That's
he's on the door. He's done.
Right, aye. So he's a stick-on. Big Idah, the injury, I'm hoping it's more to it than that. I don't think it would take. It's not going to take a lot to get him up here. We just need to agree the fee with Norwich, and hopefully that's that one done. And I just can't see us having another couple in the door.
Aye, we will.
There's Henke's asked home or Quan to feature this season. Marco, what do you think?
I don't think don't think any 2 of them will. I mean, I think there's a player in home, but Brendan Rodgers, like Bosun, he said that they need to learn more and start to work a bit harder and stuff like that. If he doesn't go to the loan home, I think he'll maybe get some game time, no right away, but maybe a few months down the line if he proves himself and does what Rodgers wants him to do. But Kwon, nah, I think he'll either do it in loan or move on full time.
I disagree, Mark. I disagree. I looked at Kwon at the full-time whistle against Man City. I tell you, one of the first things I didn't realise, Kwon's a big guy. I had no idea he was that big. He towered over most of the Celtic teams, and I think there's a player in there, and I think Brendan Rodgers is doing his classic work that he does with young players, and I think there's a chance. I'm not saying for definite. Rodgers is looking to mould Kwon into a higher quality player. So I don't think he'll go out on loan, and I think he'll feature this season.
When you were off, Greg, Mark was saying that he'd heard that there was talk of Mikey Johnston possibly being vice captain this season.
Shut up.
What do you think of that?
Nah, he's at the wind up now. They're having a laugh.
Right, only noising you up. No, I don't know. For me, I thought there was going to be a player in home. But I think it's a sad state of affairs if your manager's got to come out and tell you you've got to work a bit harder. It
I've
begs
been
a
really
question.
impressed with Rodgers doing that, though, Jerry.
What's
I like
that?
the way Rodgers does that. I like the way Rodgers does that. He doesn't count out any of the players. You know, he's obviously done that with Daniel Kelly, and he's told him in no uncertain terms. So I'm
all up for
impressed.
that. I'm up for that, but see, when a manager's got to come out and actually say, look, because he's not going to just tell he's obviously had to say this a couple of times to these players. He's going to need work a bit harder, and I think when he comes out and says it from behind closed doors, he's come out and saying it in the press in front of people, then I think it shows a severe bad attitude or lack of application attitude from the player himself. And it should never need to get to that stage where you need to tell a player they've got to work harder to get in your team. They should be doing everything they can to get into the team.
I don't know if you spoke about it, Jerry, Mark, but does anyone know what the latest is on Daniel Kelly?
I've not heard anything.
No.
I take it he's leaving, eh?
Aye.
I don't know. Maybe he's just holding out and then he'll sign.
No,
was he not talking to some German team?
It was apparently he was talking to some team, but I don't know who it was. But no.
Bayer Leverkusen are meant to be interested in him.
Aye. Aye.
But if you don't want to be here,
exactly.
Don't be dragging your heels. No, what I mean, don't let the door hit your arse on the way out.
They've offered him. He's part of the first team squad. He's been given minutes. He's not going to come in straight away and play every game, but he's been given minutes, so he's definitely got there's a pathway there for him. He's going to be featuring. So if he's wanting to go away over there, he's not going to be playing straight away for Bayern Leverkusen. I don't care how good a player he is. He's not getting in that midfield.
No.
So is he want to go over there and get coached off of there?
Money, maybe if it's money driven, do you know what I mean? If it's money driven.
So
has your lad Frimpong moved on yet? Is he still with Leverkusen? What's the score there? Because I know there's a sell-on clause.
It's thingy just expired. They put it the fee that teams were needing to pay for him. Now it was capped at whatever.
40 million or something, wasn't it?
Aye. So we'll wait and see. But they were wanting to renegotiate his deal with and give Celtic some to take that out. So
I mean, it will still move, and Celtic will still get their money. Do you know what? Will still get a good turn off it.
I don't think a lot of that team will want to move. I think they'll be wanting to see how they do in this Champions League with Alonso this season.
If they're missing out in the Europa League last year.
Aye. I think because the boy Wirtz, he's signed for Real Madrid, but it's not at the end of this season coming. He's going to move because he wanted to have a crack at the Champions League with Alonso for this season. So I think there'll be a few of them in the same boat.
We're
Have you
hoping that's the Matt O'Reilly kind of way you're thinking, isn't we? I know. That's exactly what we're hoping Matt O'Reilly's thinking.
Yep.
Have you spoke about O'Reilly and how long you think he'll stay? I think he's. I'd be surprised if we get until the first couple of weeks of the season. I reckon he'll be gone.
Nah. Me
No.
and Mark both think he'll be here. But
I'm starting to lean towards. I think he'll leave. Aye. I'm starting to lean towards that.
Listen, there is no way Matt O'Reilly is staying. If any Celtic fan believes that Matt O'Reilly is going to be in the first team within 3 weeks of the start of the season,
that's good. He cut out right at the right time.
You cut out, yeah.
Yeah, me, Greg. Aye, talking nonsense. Is that?
No,
that
a lot
your-
of Celtic, a lot of Celtic fans are. Do you know what I mean? They genuinely just Matt O'Reilly have accepted that he'll not be here. It's just that, again, the more it's dragging on, the more it's dragging on.
it is.
I was resigned till the end of last season, and then it started the transfer window. I didn't think we were going to hold on to him, but I'm beginning to think he will be staying. I'd like him to. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But we'll wait and see.
If he goes, he goes. You know, and you wish your boy all the best. You know what I mean? He's worked hard to get the move and starting with a good couple of years at him, but
definitely,
I would be disappointed.
Aye, we all would. He's a wonderful footballer, fantastic, and he would look out of place in some of these teams that we've played. I think he's
my sex drive will fall off the cliff if you leave Celtic.
Aye, I'm glad you shared that with us. No, I think he's a fantastic footballer. I mean, you've seen it last night against a decent Chelsea side. We've seen it against Man City, but hard man to replace. But I say it's Celtic were here long before them. We'll be here long after them. So when they leave, it's just up to somebody else to step up and carry on.
Some goalie scored last night too.
Okay, fantastic.
I don't know if it's a commentator or Peter Grant that said that if there's somebody doing in the Premier League that scoring that, everybody's raving about it.
It was Grant. And he's true. I mean, he doesn't talk nonsense. Talks mincemeat at times. A bit like myself, but Peter Grant.
Nah. I like Peter Grant. He's not as good as Tom Boyd. I like Tom Boyd commentating.
Jesus.
Pure glass half full kind of pure depressing kind of thing, innit?
Aye.
About times he moans about refs in that during the game as well.
Aye. But he's a fantastic footballer. Left foot, right foot, great opening up the ball. He's confident. He doesn't get flustered and all the rest of it. So no, he would do well down south or wherever he's want to go. But I don't know if he's want to actually go down south or where.
Again, I think he'll pick his next team carefully. If the best offer comes in for Germany or comes in for Italy, he'll pick that rather than just bright eyes because he's getting the chance to go and play in the Premier League. Because maybe like, I'm only 23. I go to Italy for 5 years. Some team in the Premier League will buy me when I'm 28, 27. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's only, for me, Matt O'Reilly's only going to get better. Yep. I'm not saying he could end up at like a Real Madrid or anything like that. I'm not meaning that way, but the kind of the level just below that, Matt O'Reilly will end up there. He'll end up playing at that kind of level.
Yep. Aye. Him and Hatate, the whole midfield were brilliant last night, but him and Hatate were first class. See
the way Hatate turned that big guy. He was a unit team. Hatate just turned with the boy, went down like a ton of bricks looking for a foul.
Aye, that's it.
You know what it was Hatate's touch just done the boy big time.
Aye. That's it. That's when the old boy was saying to me about how we were a team of midgets when they were all lining up. But yeah, we pumped them 4-1. That will do me every game.
It seems you're playing the ball on the deck, but it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? if you're not punting balls about the park, goals are a lot bigger than you. You know that you're not going to be losing the ball all the time for the air. Times in the air.
Your Henke saying Lewis Ferguson was at Aberdeen and look what he's done.
Exactly, Henke.
That's it. End up at Juve.
Aye, you should have ended up at Celtic too.
Okay, I know. Another one. We'll
Hey, what you got to say, Greg, before we start winding it up? Is there any movement up there? Are you still outside the training ground?
Well, I've been here now for the last 2 hours. That's why the reception, that's why it keeps cutting out. And it's getting dark. There's literally nobody here. I've no idea why I come up. And it's embarrassing. Jerry will know what it's like because we live very close to the training grounds, and it's a beautiful. I tell you, if you've never been, the view of the Campsies from where I'm standing right now, Mark, is just off the charts, man. It is unbelievable. Big Jerry will know what I'm talking about. It's amazing.
Greg, you're making it sound as if you've put me on a fence up there and we've looked at the view.
That where you now go for a wee windy walk together, run the horns and that.
Mark, Jerry will remember this, right? See, before Celtic, under the days of Lenny, you used to be able to go up to the training ground and just go behind the goals and watch. I remember when Celtic were playing Juventus under the Gary Hooper days, I took my boy up and they were just cracking Bawz over the fence. And stupidly, Gary Hooper was like, he's the balls back. I was like, aye, all right. I should have kept them, those Champions League balls. But it was different days. You could see them train. You could hear Lenny, but Jerry will tell you if he's been up recently, that's all changed now. You cannot see the training. I think the only way you could see the training is if you went into the old castle and just kind of sneaked up to the top. But
Rodgers said that he was paranoid.
Rodgers?
Aye, because
I think it was Ange, Jerry. I think it was Ange.
No, it was definitely no, it was Rodgers because a boy innocently was flying about with a drone, and who was the boy? Chris. Someday it was with Rodgers the first time around. Took him to Leicester. Aye, he flew around in a motor. He asked the boy what he was doing and was trying to get with the security, and he wanted the boy's whatever it is, SIM card or whatever it is in the drone, because he thought the boy was recording the training, and they made a big hullabaloo about stopping training and all the rest of it. But they put the big fences up when Rodgers was there for the stop people watch the training. Sure, remember, was it Udinese we played? They sent, it was them we played, one of the teams we played in Europe. Sent scouts or whatever it is to watch your training.
That's right.
That? Aye,
that's right.
They came up, they were all standing in the hill watching I can't remember. I'm sure it was Udinese, Greg. Was it no? When we're there, they were up in the hill watching the training.
Was there no something about that with Bielsa when he was at Leeds as well?
Aye, Bielsa. I can't remember what the story was like, but Bielsa.
The Canadian woman just got fired for it there as well.
Who?
Was it no Lampard?
Was
it no Lampard that fell out with Bielsa because of?
Aye, that's who it was. That's who it was. Lampard with Bielsa, but the Canadian woman team manager's just lost her job for the drone carry on.
Is that right?
Aye, something to do with drones and watching training and all the rest of it.
See, when I was younger, we used to dog school. Jump the train from Hamilton into Kilmarnock with a carry out, walk up to Barrafield and just sit and drink my carry out watching Celtic training. Nobody bothered their arse or break or anything.
Yep.
It was just an open place. You could just sit. Do you know what I mean?
When is it Barrafield's getting finished?
Well, I was told that it's going. I think it's around about November, Jerry. They're I'm not saying it's complete. I think they're on schedule, and as far as I know, it's around about November. So
maybe they'll hold back announcing the transfers to then.
That's worth a wee bit. That's worth a wee bit.
Waiting for metal.
Have you seen the work that they're doing around Celtic Park?
I've just seen pictures of it and that. I've not been into actually seeing
it. I was
Good night, Brian. Cheers again, mate.
Brian. All the best, mate.
Good night, Brian. I was in a couple of weeks ago, Mark, and they've made massive changes to the away support, the kind of, where the Rangers end. So they're creating a big kind of entrance area for buses so that they can bus them in, and it's almost sectioned off because there's obviously issues with so that whole kind of away experience as a football fan is getting pretty drastically changed. So it'll be interesting to see.
Good, make it unpleasant for them as that you can.
Aye, that's exactly it. Aye.
Let's time that again. But here's Mark. Sees a wee suggestion. What I'd like.
Aye. What would you like? Carry up with the suspense.
Go on.
Aye. And you internet.
Every time he tries to give someone the pin, he cuts off.
He's wanting broadband. Aye, he's doing that deliberately, isn't he? He's put his phone onto flight mode.
Give him a couple of minutes and see if he can get back.
Aye, he must be running about phone in there, looking to see if he can track a signal.
Get a signal.
Aye, that's it.
So you confident? Right, supposing the new we never signed another. Well, supposing all we signed was Idah and Bernardo. Are you happy with that?
Nope.
You think that's a good enough team going for at least to win as a league in that?
We'll win the league, aye. We'll win the league with that. But no, there would be uproar. I mean, why?
It's just it's just to me, it would be a good team, but we're not moving on any. We're just actually the same, apart from the goalkeeper. It's just going to be the same players as last season. Exactly. So how's that a team? You're not showing any fair dues. Bernardo and Idah are real players this season, but they're not moving on any actual kind of football in terms of things, ain't you know?
No, definitely no. 100%. No, we should be looking to progress at every transfer window we can. And that's no progressing, Mark, signing A2. We've all right, we've improved in the keeper, but the defence, we could be. We know Vickers will have a wee spell out. We need a left back, possibly 2 strikers. So no, definitely no. We've having kittens, and dare I say it, man, poor JFP, he'd be going bananas.
JFP's busy on a Sunday. We need to do a midweek pot. We need to get him on one of Thursday night ones or that once the season's back on.
Windows shut. He'll be waiting till the windows shut before he resurfaces. Him and Tear. Has Greg made it back on yet?
No. We'll just wind that up then, eh? Let's see. You know what I mean?
All right then, mate. It's been good. Back talking about Celtic.
Thank God, man. What's that? 6 more sleeps, 7 more sleeps.
Aye. And 2 more managers or hun managers to Christmas. So no long, mate. Long. Right, it's been emotional. Thanks for having me, everybody. All right.
No bother, Jerry. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Good night, mate. Good night. Yes, I'll have Greg back on now. Jerry, you want to jump back on there? Greg came back on. What were you saying?
My reception up here in the Campsies is terrible, Mark. Sorry.
No bother. What were you going to say before you get cut off there?
I can't even remember.
For God's sake.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, do you know what would be a good suggestion for a future show in terms of subject matter? The match day experience. I think the match day experience at Celtic Park is so poor, and it needs to change, and it needs to get better. And it's the same old stuff. I think the pre-match experience is poor. I think the half-time experience is poor. I think the full-time experience is poor. And I think it'd be a good shout for a topic for a show. How do we improve? How do we improve the match day?
Definitely.
Because it hasn't changed. I mean, I'm 52. I'm 52, and it hasn't changed in 30 years.
I mean, I don't get to games as often as I did when I had my season ticket and that, but For the times that I've been in, there's been like
It's brutal.
wee licks of paint to things and stuff like that, but nothing drastic's ever changed.
No, I'm
30
talking
years.
beyond that, Mark. I'm talking just about, everything from the person, the guy that does the match day, announcements and stuff. I just think the whole experience is really, really poor.
I agree with you. I mean, Henke's saying that you enjoy the 90 minutes, Greg.
100%. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The 90 minutes is what it's all about, but it doesn't mean that we can't.
But even the atmosphere during the 90 minutes is flat.
Well, I think there's just a lot. I just think there's a lot.
It's the Green Brigade and the boys in the other corner singing. The rest of the fans, I've said this 100 times, there's far too many fans at Celtic Park every game, and they're there and they're too busy videoing things and videoing this and videoing the game and videoing the Green Brigade and taking photos for social media. And they're not actually watching the game and supporting the team. And they sit there and they look on the like guys like the Green Brigade and that, they look on them as if they're part of the entertainment. You're there to entertain me as a Celtic fan. Whereas they're there to cheer on the team and hopefully get other people in the stadium to do the exact same thing rather than just sit there with the happy clappers.
No, I agree, but I think part of that, I think the reason for that, Mark, is because there's quite certainly the bit I've been sitting at over the last season, there's a lot of older guys, and a lot of older guys, in their mid-50s to 70, they're not really interested in the whole hullabaloo of jumping up and down. I mean, you'll maybe get them standing up and doing the huddle once every couple of games or whatever. I think that's I think that's one of the reasons for, lack of fan participation, because the age group of so many fans is between 55 and 75, and you can't really expect them to be going mental unless you get.
No, I know that. One of the things, I mean, the big Celtic end thing, I'd love that to happen, but I don't see it happening. But one of the things that Celtic they could probably look at is letting people, if they move tickets so that they're with their pals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're sitting with 3 or 4 of your pals, you feel more confident to get up and have a wee sing along in that. Do you know what I mean?
I know. I was interested.
But if you're sitting yourself just with people that you just know because they've got the season ticket next to you, you're not got that same kind of bond with them unless you've been there for years. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I remember I went to the Underange, the Kilmarnock semi-final a couple of seasons ago at Hampden in the rain. It was really.
I was at that.
Unusual because there was a lot of guys around me that I'd never met before. I'd never had the privilege of sitting beside. And what was great, there was a couple of boys my age, and they went through this kind of bit of throughout the game where they were just singing old Celtic songs, and they were encouraging the other fans around them. So, just singing songs from the 80s and the 90s, and it was brilliant. I was thinking, was that. So, and you could see all the younger fans, looking at them as if to say, what the hell are they singing? But it was just a really enjoyable thing to witness, just older guys having a sing-song. And it's that thing about passing down the historical songs that you don't hear anymore. There's lots of songs that I like.
There you're away again, Greg.
I know. Listen, Mark, my reception's really poor here, so I'll get on to the next one.
Right, no bother, Greg. Thanks very much for coming on anyway.
Oh, you're welcome. And you do such a great job, Mark, so well done. Thank you.
Thanks for saying that, mate. That's appreciated. Thanks
I mean it. I've said that before. It's a podcast that's proper fans. A lot of these other podcasts, you can see that there's a real journalistic element to it, or they want to be journalists and get a career in the media. But the thing I really like about yours is it's just raw. It's fans,
that's what I want. Just Celtic fans just coming in. We can all argue, we can all disagree, but we're all Celtic fans at the end of the day. Nobody's better than anybody else.
But thanks for everything you do, Mark. Thank you.
No bother, Greg. Thanks again. I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Speak to you soon.
Okay, mate. Good night. Take care. Bye. Hey. There you go. That's nice of Greg saying that. I really appreciate that. Right, thanks everybody that listened in, joined in the live chat and that. Hope you enjoyed it. Everybody that listens back to it, hope you enjoy it. If you remember how leave a comment under the video on YouTube and hit the like button. Hail, hail, good night, lads, and God bless. Roll on next Sunday.